Hi there, Sue here. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday outside here in New Zealand, and I've just been sitting out in the sun. It's getting a little bit red, so I thought I'd come in and make this video. I just want to do another update on where I'm at with the carnivore diet, with my 90-day challenge, and in particular with my oxalate dumping. So I did a video the other day, during the week, I think, talking about the 90-day challenge and some of the challenges that I've had on that. I think I mentioned in there with diarrhea and a bit of weight gain. The weight gain is normal. A lot of people gain weight, especially when they're priming. So I had gained the 4 kilos basically that I lost on keto over 2 months. I regained in like 4 weeks on priming. Initially I gained 2 kilos, then it came off again. That was the first week, and then I was kind of steady for a little bit, and then I started putting on weight again. But I expected that, and that's fine. I'm quite happy with that. I have faith that this process is going to work, just from listening to other people's stories and seeing the results that other people get with the carnivore diet and the changes in my health that I'm feeling and experiencing already myself. So in the last, I had my first 1 meal a day as being the last week of the first month of the 90-day challenge. I did it on Thursday. It was supposed to be Wednesday, but because I'm a day ahead and I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, it ended up being Thursday. So it went really easily. Had really no issues. Just water all day, and then I ate dinner about 7 o'clock, I think, at night after I'd finished working, and that was all good. And then I was supposed to do 3 days of 2 meals a day if I'm following the plan, but yesterday we went out. We were going shopping up in Thames, which is about 40 minutes drive from where we are, and so we decided to go up a little bit further and went to the beach and went hunting for gemstones, and so we got a bit carried away. So by the time we got home, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I kind of missed lunch, but it wasn't a struggle at all. I was kind of hungry a little bit, but not drastically. So when I came home, I had just some leftover mince with cheese on it, and then a couple of hours later I had dinner. So I don't know whether that counts as 1 meal or 2, but it's all good. So I had done about 20-hour fast from the night before. And again, yeah, it was easy. So obviously the priming has really worked, because like I said in my last video, initially when I started on carnivore, I could not fast. I was struggling to get to lunchtime. And so, yeah, obviously my body's a lot happier with where I'm at with my nutrition now. So that's all good. The issues I was having with diarrhea, initially I thought it was fat and my body just adapting to that, which might have been part of it. But I had tried a few things. I tried cutting the amount of fat back a bit, and I also tried having less hot fat and more cold, so like butter out of the freezer and that sort of thing, because that makes a difference. Sometimes it's the hot fat that's liquid that causes diarrhea for people. So tried knocking that out of my diet a fair bit, and still was having issues with diarrhea, because diarrhea has been such a big part of my adult life that I just, when it came back like the way that it was, I was just like, oh, you're kidding me, and it was going on and on. And so the second week of priming, I actually ended up taking charcoal for about 4 days in the morning before work, because otherwise it makes it too hard, like seeing clients. I mean, I'm supposed to be doing a massage for an hour and a half if you've got to be going back and forth to the toilet. So the charcoal helped with that, but I didn't want to keep taking charcoal. I've actually relied a lot on charcoal over the last few years, and I think I probably overused it lots. But it was just a way of getting through days, especially work days and days when I had to do things. So I did the charcoal for 4 days, and then it was the weekend, and then I ended up, somebody made a comment on the 90-day carnivore challenge. Basically, this woman was having exactly the same issues as me. So random kind of pain, joint pain, those sorts of things, and diarrhea that was hot. So it's like when you've had curry. I mean, curry never used to affect me. Over the last couple of years, I discovered that it did. But, a lot of people end up with diarrhea after having curry. And I believe that that's caused by the oxalates in the turmeric and the different spices, now that I know what I know. So it was kind of like that. And so after I watched a couple of Sally Norton videos and decided to add some oxalates back into my diet. So I can't remember whether I spoke about this on my last video or not, but I did that. So what I did was I started putting some black pepper onto my meals when I remembered, because black pepper has oxalates. I've been drinking a tea that I was making prior to all of this that's got different spices in it, including cinnamon, and cinnamon is really high in oxalates. So I was just actually having a look at a chart by some autism group where they've tested all the foods. It's one that Sally Norton recommends as being probably the most accurate source of information about oxalate amounts available, and the amount of oxalate in cinnamon is huge. So I will be mindful of that when I make more tea, if I'm going to drink that, because it is quite high. So I have been having that, the black pepper, and I just started putting a couple of carrots and celery sometimes into my bone broth when I'm making it, and slow cooked meats like stews and things like that. Not to eat the carrot and the celery, but just to allow some of the oxalates into the broth, and that immediately within overnight, that just changed. I haven't had diarrhea since. Really until maybe a little bit this morning, because I hadn't really had much in the way of oxalates yesterday or today. So I'm just having the rest of my cold tea from yesterday morning. I did have some yesterday. There you go. Might have been too much butter, but it wasn't bad anyway. It wasn't anything major. So that worked fantastically. Now the other thing that I'd been noticing with the oxalate dumping was heart palpitations, flutters and things like that. So heart palpitations is something that I have had issues with since I was a teenager, believe it or not. When I was young, in my late teens, early 20s, I had what I now pretty much know was AF, atrial fibrillation probably. My heart used to go into this really, like, not just flutters, like really banging, feeling like it was really out of rhythm, just about going out of my chest. I would be sweating, feeling like I was going to die, and it would last for about 20 minutes, half an hour. I remember it happening a few times when I was working. I went to the doctor when I was 18, I think, and said that I was having this thing going with my chest, and he just said to me, it's heart palpitations. Do you smoke? I said yes. Do you drink coffee? I said yes. He said, well, that's your problem because you're having nicotine and caffeine. So I just kind of accepted that that's what was causing it, and eventually I stopped drinking coffee because it was easier to quit than the cigarettes. That was probably when I was in my 30s, I think. I had gone off and on coffee a bit, depending on whether I was working and all the rest of it. But at that point, I was working, and I had a really bad episode at work. Ended up having to go home again because thought I was going to cark it. And so from that point on, I quit coffee, and until I was much older. So, and once I had actually quit smoking, then coffee didn't affect me that way the same. So heart palpitations aren't new to me. This is something that has been there off and on for a lot of years. But what I'd noticed since I'd gone onto the 90-day challenge, because of the drop in oxalates, was that I was having little flutters all the time, like it was really regular. So I've been using electrolytes. Before I started on the carnivore diet, like when I started on keto, I actually bought some of this product just in case, because I knew that a lot of people, when they first go onto keto initially, and then with the carnivore diet, when they initially start on the carnivore diet, a lot of people need electrolytes. I didn't know why. I didn't know why people needed them, but I knew I'd seen that a lot of people were using them, and it was a question that I had in my mind as to why they might need them on especially on the carnivore diet when you're supposed to be getting all the nutrition that you need. So the reason obviously turns out that a lot of that requirement for additional electrolytes, some of it is just your body getting used to the change in diet and becoming fat adapted, and then the rest of that requirement may be from oxalate dumping. And so oxalate dumping causes all sorts of symptoms, from diarrhea to joint pain to skin rashes, headaches, all sorts of things, digestive issues. So electrolytes can help. So most of the other products like Element and that I've looked at contain magnesium, calcium, potassium, and salt. So those four electrolytes, and that's and people love them and they get good results with them, and that's all very well. But the way that I think about things these days is when you, and from my understanding of the way that our bodies work, when you put in single nutrients, it can have kind of counter effects. So like magnesium and potassium and calcium, they all kind of go together and they affect the levels of one another. But if you're missing other elements that are needed for them to work properly, then they're not going to work properly, or too much of one of those could cause other things to drop. So this product is made from seawater, and so it's seawater obviously with a fair chunk of the salt removed because it's not really salty, but it does have sodium in there, but it also has a whole bunch of other things. So it has, I have them on my other computer monitor, so I'm going to turn my head and have a look. So it has 72 ocean minerals in this product. It contains 18 major minerals, and it contains 54 trace minerals. So it not only has your potassium and magnesium and calcium and salt in there, but it has a whole bunch of other things in there. Everything from, what does it have? Manganese and sulfur and boron and chloride and zinc, and each batch is tested for purity, and it takes 3 years to make this product from start to finish. Now, our blood plasma is basically the same makeup as seawater. So to me, that's one thing that makes me think that this product is probably a good choice. It works really well, and I guess if you need more salt, then you just add more salt into your diet. As I said, it does have sodium in there, but it's not salty like seawater. It tastes quite nice. There's two different. There's this one here, which is just the pure dried elements out the seawater, and then there's a flavoured one as well, which is flavoured with lime and stevia, I think. I don't want the sweetener, so I take this one, and I actually think it tastes nice. It doesn't have a strong taste. I really like the flavour of it. So this, if you want to try this product, this is fantastic. I'll put a link below this video, and you can order it. If you're in New Zealand, you can order it from Australia. There's the Australian website you need to order from. Otherwise, it's for sale US and Canada and all over the place. So yeah, so I'll pop a link below this video to that product, and it lasts for ages. You only use, like, I think it's about half a teaspoon. It's got a little tiny scoop in there. So yeah, so that's the electrolytes. And was there anything else that I wanted to talk about? Just the way that I've been feeling. So I'm not sure whether I said before, I've actually dropped about half a kilo in the last couple of days after doing my first OMAD, so 1 meal a day. And so I went down by 600 grams. Yesterday had gone up by 200 after having 2 meals a day. This morning that 200 had gone back down again after having a longer fasting period yesterday. So I've got a couple more days on 2 meals a day, I think, and then I'm doing a couple of OMADs. So see how that goes, and then building up to five lots of 1 meal a day, one after another. And I'm picking that. Hopefully I'll find that fairly easy, just from the way I've been feeling at this point. My blood pressure is still good. My heart rate has come down more. My blood sugar has come down more. So my blood sugar, a lot of the time when I'm testing there, I'm sitting 5.7. I tested this yesterday or the day before I ate, and it was like 5.7, and it's coming down quite well after I've eaten as well, where before it was staying up. So that's good. And I've got more energy. I'm sleeping really well. I don't know whether I've mentioned this either, my sleep pattern has gone back to normal. So in the 7 years since we moved back to New Zealand, it's as though my body just stayed on Queensland time. I wanted to go to bed late and get up late, 2 hours, because there's a 2-hour time difference between Queensland and New Zealand. And where I've always traditionally gone to bed around 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was staying up until 11:30, midnight, and then not wanting to get up until 7:30, 8 in the morning, where I used to get up at 5:30, 6 in the morning. And it didn't matter how much I tried to get my body clock to go back there, it wouldn't. I'd try, I'd go to bed early, and then next thing I'd be back to that late night again and late mornings. So since I've been eating like this, that's just all changed. And now I'm ready for bed, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'm waking. I don't need as much sleep. I've always needed, I've been an 8 or a 9 hour a night girl, and forever. Now, 6 hours, 7 hours. I'm waking at 5, 6 in the morning, 5 o'clock. A lot of the time this morning was about 5, and I'm ready to get up. Sometimes I don't, because I'm just like, oh, this is early and it's still dark. But I'm waking up and I'm ready to get up and feeling like doing some exercise. Not heaps, but some. So I've been doing a bit of yoga. I bought some mobility sticks, which are fantastic for stretching. And I'll talk about them in another video, I think. And so I've been using those. I've been doing just a little bit of weight training, some push-ups, some pieces like that. So yeah, there's some good changes already, and I'm super happy about that. So yeah, so that's me. This is the end of my first month on the 90-day challenge. So I have now been carnivore for 3 months, 2 months mostly with a bit of plant material in there, and then 1 month now where I've been solid carnivore, apart from the little bits of black pepper and cinnamon that I've just kind of added back in to stop my oxalate dumping or slow it down. Because it won't stop it, it'll slow it down, and that's all good because it makes my life a little bit happier and easier to manage. So yeah, so that's it. If you like this video and you want more, please subscribe. Share the video with anybody that you think might like this information. And if you want to grab yourself some boost, I will have the link under my video to that. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again another day.